What's going on YouTube? JT's Born here. Welcome to another edition of my DC comic book reviews, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Deathstroke issue number 48. Now, before I hit record on this video, I was really contemplating how I would approach this video because I just read the issue like 3 times and I'm still pretty confused by a lot of what's happening, like about how Slade is back. I mean, we still don't have the mystery of who the two, like there's 2 Deathstrokes that they're showing in this thing, but and the issue jumps back and forth between you have, I guess, this Slade who, like Nurse Slade that we saw in the last issue. You have like a badly body damaged scarred Slade, which you have that, and then you have all this other stuff going on. So I guess we'll just have to get into it. So per the usual, we'll go ahead and I'll read the synopsis. But like I said, I read it a couple times, and like they had the one Slade kind of try to explain his resurrection, but they don't really give a good reason. Like at least I couldn't see it. I read it a few times. Like what? How is he still alive? I'm like, am I missing something? We'll get into that in a second because maybe somebody in the comments can point it out for me, or maybe I'll finally come to the realization of this. But anyways, Deathstroke is back and more ruthless than ever as he challenges the Legion of Doom and continues a bloody rampage to attain the power that Lex Luthor gave to Slade's son. Jericho, meanwhile, the tragic deaths of 2 teenagers in a sleepy Arkansas County lead the local police chief to discover a secret that could cost him his life. Okay, so we got this here. Oh, I got this guided view on. So we have this Deathstroke here who looks like a stormtrooper. I kind of like the design of this thing. He wants the power that was given to Jericho Wilson. I assume this is an imposter Deathstroke. That's the only way I can comprehend why this character is like this. But I guess they're falling for it being an imposter. I really, really don't know. So anyways, then we have Slade here. And then we get an explanation of how he apparently is alive. Right here, don't break the path, blah 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 blah. I heard that as well, Elvis, that Jackson boy, seeing how things are going, maybe cleared the mystery. So he's kind of asked the mystery about how Deathstroke is seeming live. By the way, I love the artwork here. A lot of the artwork in this book is just Carlo Paggion. I mean, the artwork in the Deathstroke books, whether you like the storylines or not, I mean, there's really no denying how good some of this artwork is in these books. I mean, just look how the colors pop off the page, look at the designs in that. So we get the explanation here, like we show a flashback weeks before. I guess this is before the Terminus agenda or after. I really don't know anymore. I don't know where this takes place. We show Slade kind of getting burned here. And then, congratulations, Mr. Wilson, you have leprosy. I'm like, leprosy? What the hell? Where's leprosy being brought into the factor? Leprosy, yeah, that raptor idiot. He removed his junkyard claw and infected me. And Lavrie Viderche, pal, you were good. What? When did this happen? It's literally like just such a minor moment in issue 44 that if you blink and you miss it. Leprosy brought you back to life. No, that arrow that killed me went directly through my brain. No healing was rapid enough. Boom, done. But Raptor's infection sent my immune system into overdrive, which is probably why he did it. Why would Raptor care unless he wanted him brought back to life? It does. I'm so lost right now. And then they talk about how a Promethean chainmail absorbs energy, Mr. Wilson. You with only 3rd degree burns over 90% of your body, which your rapid healing obviously cured. Flying New Jersey hero. Hey Doc, what's next? My bill, of course. You have no home. You have no this, no that, no that. So is that an explanation? That how he survived? Is this another character assuming the identity of Slade? I am beyond confused. I'm like, okay, so he infected him with leprosy. Is that supposed to work his immune system if he's dead? How is that supposed to work? I'm very baffled. I'm very confused right now. Like I said, this isn't really a good review portion. I'm just super confused. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, did him infecting him after he's dead re-stimulate his healing cells? But if his healing cells, if the arrow went through his brain, the rest of his body is not going to function well unless his cells are capable, separate from his body, kind of like something else. I don't know. It maybe like it's like Cell in Dragon Ball or Majin Buu, where as long as like a little fraction of his cells are alive, the rest of them can regenerate. But yeah, so that arrow apparently went through his head. Apparently, like the leprosy did something, but they're saying leprosy didn't. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Because like I looked at the moment too in the issue, so I pulled it up right here. This is it. This is the entire moment. This is, I guess, the explanation how Slade's kind of okay. I don't fucking know. I'm baffled. I'm beyond confused. That to me, just like, if that's really the case, how he's back, it feels pretty half-assed. It's not very explained very well, unless somebody wants to explain in the comments for me. Maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, leprosy, that's plays a factor into how he's around. I really, really don't. Maybe they'll get into it more in the next issue, but it almost felt kind of like a half-assed explanation. I still don't know why we have 2 Deathstrokes right now. Maybe it's some mini panel from like 50 issues ago or like 30 issues ago that explains the whole thing. It's like, oh, you got to go back and read 30 issues. Like, I can't. It's just like that. But anyways, other stuff we have going on. Jericho confronting Lex Luthor, who basically takes away the god powers that he had. And then we have this little blue guy here, which I'm like, who is this? Is that Lex Luthor? I don't think it was Lex Luthor from Year of the Villain. Like I said, I'm not really reading Year of the Villain all that much. There's so many different tie-ins. We have the Justice League book, which, I read the issues, but I sometimes have problems following along with that because it gets really cosmic, and I kind of like my stories. I mean, I like a lot of cosmic stuff, but I just feel like I'm listening to, like, somebody speaking a completely different language when I read those. But yeah, so Slade, we have Nurse Slade doing his thing. We have this guy here. He's got a point of contact. We have Rose there with Jericho's fiance, Terrence. Jericho's mind kind of manipulated him. Then we have the Stormtrooper Deathstroke is who I'm going to call. Summon him. Do it now. Rose comes in. They have conflict. They fight with each other. She thinks it's her dad, but is it really your dad? Because this just feels so out of character for Deathstroke, or maybe it's somebody wearing Deathstroke skin. I really, really don't know. Maybe somebody infected Slade. They want the power. Why would you even say, oh, you're this, you're my daughter? I don't really know. And then we have Adeline Kane here. We have this symbol here, which is the Legion of Doom thing. She's getting threatened with her life. They're looking for Jericho and the powers, and it kind of just ends here. And then we get next Jericho 1, the Godman Syndrome. Is that a Jericho issue we're going to get? I didn't see anything in the solicitations to my knowledge. I just checked Comixology and I didn't see anything. Or is this just going to be Deathstroke issue 49? Like I said, I'm so confused by, again, that was kind of like a summary of the issue right there. I'm super, super duper confused by what's happening in this issue. I mean, am I just really stupid and I just can't comprehend what's going on? Or is this thing just kind of just like, oh yeah, because of this reason? It makes me think of it's a weird comparison, but in like, have you ever seen Army of Darkness? I feel like when they were kind of putting this together, maybe it's just like Ash, where he's just like, he forgets the words, and then he's just like, Klaatu, Verada, okay, it's good. I say, there you go, I said it. There's the resurrection. There you go, right there. Everything's good and dandy. Yeah, so that bit was definitely kind of like a really confusing bit that kind of took me out of it. I'm just like, okay, if you're not saying it did, but you're saying it didn't, because you're just like, oh, so that killed you, but it brought you back. But did it not? Like, why even have that in there if that's the case? So, again, it's not made very clear cut if that brought him back. I know I'm just kind of bringing this, but this is a major, like, complaint I'm having right now. It's more confusion than anything. I'm like, okay, if it's not really the reason he came back, like, how the hell are you still alive? It's like, oh, but they got this, but then they didn't really. I don't know. I'm just rambling on incoherently. Again, this is not really the best video. Like I said, before I pushed record, I just didn't know how this was going to go because, like I said, I got nothing on that portion. I'm very confused by that. If somebody could clarify that for me, that'd be very helpful. But anyway, so the rest of the issue, we have Jericho trying to regain his former humanity, so he goes and confronts that Lex Luthor, who looks different from other Lex Luthor. I don't know, you got the blue dude thing, he loses his blue god powers or whatever, and this other Deathstroke here is looking for them. This impersonator, I'm guessing. I don't know why we still have 2 Slades, and I don't know why Slade just went and became a nurse, and that too. It's just, hopefully, I'm just hoping that my confusions and that will all be fixed in the next 2 issues, because we only have 2 issues left of Deathstroke, and as I've stated in previous videos, I like a lot of this Deathstroke run. I think there's some really good stuff in here. But one of my issues sometimes is just like, it gets kind of confusing at points in time. And like I said, you got to really pay attention to all the details. And maybe I'm just not doing that enough. Maybe it's because I have so many other books I'm reading at the time that, like, you have to pay attention, like, to the most minuscule details. Like, if you're really just into Deathstroke, I can understand why somebody's totally loving every bit of this thing. Like, if you're just, like, only focused on, like, every single panel, putting together all the clues in that, then this is definitely for you. It's not really something that you can do very casually reading it. Even after reading it, like, multiple times, I'm still a bit confused as to what's really happening in this thing. Like, the Rose thing, I don't know if she's hurt. Maybe we'll find out the next issue. The fake Deathstroke going after Adeline Kane. It's all going to culminate together with, I guess, the real Deathstroke. I don't know. He still says he's Slade Wilson, but this guy says he's not. Then the other one has his memory. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I'm just rambling incoherently, and I really apologize for that. I'm just at a loss for words in this whole issue. I don't even know if I should. I'm not like saying don't read it, but I'm not saying like this is the best thing. Oh my God, look at how great this was. I'm just left in a state of I don't know after this issue. I know that's weird to say. The artwork is fantastic. I will say that again, time and time again. The pacing of the story, it's again, it's kind of all over the place because we're cutting back to here. We're cutting back to here with Jericho and that. And like I said, the Jericho stuff is fine. The Rose stuff is fine. But I just wish they'd do a better job focusing on like how this resurrection thing. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe they explain it right there. But then again, that just seems, I don't know, a bit half-assed to me. I don't know, like why it's even there. It just doesn't feel. It feels kind of cheap. Like the whole death thing with the whole death of Deathstroke felt like just a gimmick. Maybe we'll get into it more in the Teen Titans books. I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words with this issue. Like I said, I'm not saying not to read it. I'm not saying to read it. I'm just confused. Again, this is probably the worst review on all of the comic reviews because I feel like I'm not really doing a good job talking about it. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, like when I pushed record, I didn't know how this was going to go down because I'm just in a state of confusion. I don't know what I'm saying. Again, some people are probably looking at this like, oh, this guy's kind of crazy. Yeah, he kind of is. But yeah, and here I am just talking to myself or maybe talking to the audience. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, that's the video on this Deathstroke issue. Again, great artwork. There's some nice dialogue in here at times. I'm just, what am I gonna say? Confused. I'm just confused by all that's happening.